What's up, guys? Welcome to Empowered AF 2.0. This is Mark Santiago, your host. And listen, I've got one more oldie but goodie for you that I'm releasing. I've basically been going through some of my older content that I distributed back when I first started Empowered Man. And honestly, it's raw, it's real, it's unfiltered, it's fucking good. So we're releasing at least one more video this week. And then we're going to be making some changes to our video formatting. These are going to be a little bit shorter podcasts. What we're going to be doing is expanding even what I talk about that are going to be way more hard hitting. And what I mean by that is like almost like less story and like more to the point. So we're going to actually shorten the podcast to like less than 15 minutes so that you guys are able to really listen to it on your commute to work, in a gym, wherever it is, and get right to the point. And we're going to answer some really hard hitting questions about affairs and co-parenting with a toxic ex, mental illness, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to be really, really good. But before we get to that, here's today's episode on what we actually control when we're going through separation or divorce.
So I want to talk about a few things that I saw in the group this week, as well as, on my calls, coaching client calls and strategy sessions with different guys, and just a common theme that we see over and over again in Empowered Man. It's a common theme that we see over and over again, and that is that when guys first find out about what's going on, and whether it's cheating or the wife wants to move out or whatever, like your first emotion is to just dump all of the anger, the fear, all that stuff, because that is the sort of safe thing to do for us, right? It's more comfortable to speak about what somebody else is doing, less comfortable to speak about what we're doing. And so we're taking this vein of control, and that is that we can only control what we can control. And so when I ask in the group, what are you doing for you? I'm not saying that to be a jerk, to be an asshole, to be any of those things. All I'm saying is, hey, I know it hurts. I've been there. I've been through it a million times. My heart has been crushed a million times. It's the worst feeling in the world. And all of that going on, if you don't start to change your focus and shift where you're going with this, suddenly you're going to find yourself bitter. You're going to find yourself complaining. You're going to find yourself not healthy, because you're choosing to allow her to still control you. See, there's this thing that what you focus on becomes bigger. It expands. There's probably some scientific law for that. But it's so true when it comes to relationships. If all you're focusing on was what she's doing and what she has done and how she hurt you and all of these things, you're never actually able to fulfill what you need to fulfill in your own life, in your own heart. That's why when you work with us, we're saying, hey, I want to know what's going on. I want to know what you've been through. But the very first thing we have to help you realize is the fact is that you're a king and you've been displaced from your kingdom. Okay. And a lot of groups call it getting your balls back, get your power back. I think it's so much bigger than that. I think that you have lost your kingdom, and that's huge, because your kingdom isn't just your power. It's also your values. It's also your identity. It's also what you believe about yourself. It's beliefs. It's all of these things. It's all encompassing. And as a king, you've been displaced from your kingdom. Some guys, they're sleeping on the couch, and that shouldn't be. Other guys, their wife is openly cheating in front of them, and that should not be. I've talked to many of you where you're going through that exact scenario right now, and you're frustrated because you don't know what to do, because you've literally lost your kingdom. And I'm telling you, there is a way back. Sometimes it results in getting a new marriage with her. Other times it means the marriage must end. Josh talked about it openly in the group. Josh is one of our VIP clients, and he talked about the specific aspect of when he first came working with us, what he was really struggling with was the idea of, do I stay or do I go? And I said, we're going to help you figure that out. I didn't push him either direction. I'd say, Josh, you have to do this. Josh, you have to do that. But what we did is we started to evaluate the values, the confidence, all of those things. And he started to see what I can control is me, and I can control what happens in my kids' lives. So I'm going to start taking my kingdom back. And that's what he's been doing. And once we've taken your kingdom back, then the very next thing we do is we focus on creating a fortress around that kingdom again. Because all those broken walls, all those things that have happened to you, no boundaries, blurred boundaries, all those things, they suck. They literally suck, and you're not able to fully function as an adult, as a man. You know, talking to a guy today, and he's like, I felt like a little boy. And I'm like chasing my wife around, stalking my wife and trying to catch her in lies and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, he knows. And he said it. He's like, this isn't functional. This isn't healthy. And that's why he is in. That's why he's joining the program, because he's like, man, I'm done with that. I don't want to live like that. The way I want to live is this. And that's like, boom. That's when I know I've got a man I can work with. Because once a man starts to become secure in the fact that he has feelings and they hurt, and we validate those things, but we move past validation real fast, because I'm not a therapist. I'm not sitting here to therapize you, is what I call it. It's a Southern thing. I'm not here to therapize you. I'm here to coach you. I'm here to help you make better decisions. And so we got to build a fortress around those decisions. We got to build a fortress of boundaries around that kingdom that you do. And then the next thing we actually want to do is we want to get in there and figure out what the mess is that we created. Because if you can understand that you created a mess, right? It's not that she just did this and she walked out and she did all those things. Like, you created, sometimes some of you have created an environment where it was okay for there to be this type of behavior. And when you have that kind of environment that says, hey, it's okay that you can do this, and then suddenly you're slapped in the face with, I want a divorce or whatever, like, we have to look at us and go, what can I control here? So that's the third thing we do. First, we help you get your kingdom back. Second thing you got to do is put a fortress around those walls, those boundaries. Third thing you got to do is look at the mess and figure out, what mess have I made and what do I need to clean up? And then the next aspect of that is starting to figure out, what kind of kingdom do we really want, right? Whether it's the kingdom with our current wife, or that's the kingdom with a future wife. We have to figure out what we want for us. And so I call that the values part, right? So we look at the values of what we want. Again, it's not about her. It's not about the fact that she stepped out. It's not about the fact that she wants a divorce and all this other shit. I don't care about that. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. I'm not saying I'm not validating you in those things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you control you. You make your own choices. You make your own decisions. You are an adult. I'm not talking to children. I'm talking to grown-ass men. And so when you start to get a vision for the kind of kingdom you want, if you want to attract your wife back, it becomes sexy. It becomes really, really impactful to her, because she's going, oh shit, you know, I'm with this guy over here, or I've decided to move on and all this. But then she starts seeing you, and you've got this vision again, and you're feeling younger again. You're going through metamorphosis. I lost a bunch of weight. I got a new haircut. I started dressing differently. I started feeling myself again. I started feeling confident again. Man, confidence is sexy as fuck to a girl. It's totally sexy. That's why some of them end up doing what they do, is because this dude was so confident to a married woman, and he made her feel a way that she hadn't felt in a long time. And she's been missing that. And again, I'm not saying it's your fault. And you know that. You know I'm not that white knight shit, and I don't do that crap. Look, she did what she did, and that's on her. But at the same time, if we want to attract another woman, or we want to attract her back, we have got to be confident. Final thing, final piece of this confidence thing, final piece of all of this, of what we have control over, is what I say is, you decide how you want to expand this kingdom. You decide what you want it to look like. You get in touch again with your identity. You rediscover your identity as a king, and you understand that, hey, I don't have to be this way. I don't have to live in dysfunction. I made a choice. I'm done with that dysfunction. Now, whether or not she wants to join me in that journey, that's up to her. But I am done with this shit. I'm going to take back my kingdom. I am going to fortify the boundaries around my heart, so I'm not getting my heart stomped on again. I am going to clean up my mess. I'm going to determine what kind of kingdom I want, and I'm going to create a path and a plan forward to get there. Guys, that is how it's fucking done. Okay? That is how it's done. That's what we do day in and day out in the Empowered Man. Whether you're in the group, you're a part of my coaching program, whatever. Like, make your decision. Stop sitting on the fence. Decide what direction you're going to go in. Okay? A lot of you come here because of the ad you saw on Facebook, or the video, or whatever, or maybe you saw me in another group, and you're like, wow, the information just popped at you. You're like, oh my gosh, this guy's been through what I've been through. Yeah, I've been through it. I saw the other side of it. I'm on the other side of it, and it's okay. Guys, it is okay. Some of you just need to breathe. Some of you just need to breathe and chill and just be okay for a minute. It's hard. It really is. I know it is. But I'm telling you, if you can lean into the process, lean into the fucking process of becoming the product of a better man, of becoming who you were intended to be, where you are back on your kingdom. If you lean into that, I can guarantee you it's going to be better. I always tell you that if you've been on the phone with me, or if you're a client of mine, you know I say it all the time. My clients win both ways. My clients can never fail. They either win their wife back, or they win their manhood back, or they win both. You never fail. So that's my rant for today.